Hey, welcome everyone.
Okay, first view. A little bit of a shade. You know, shade probably like the day before, looking good.
This is Jeff from the Overwatch team. Here's another developer update. This one's gonna be awesome. I think we're finally ready to talk about some features that you guys have been...
I'd love for this video at 1.5. Like,
as I mentioned earlier in the year, we've been working on social features to really improve the gameplay experience for everybody in Overwatch. So we have two of those to talk about today. Now the first one is super exciting to me because we often talk about ways to punish players who are behaving poorly, and it's not very exciting to a lot of us. I think more often than not, players are behaving in an awesome way in Overwatch, and we just don't recognize them enough. So we're super excited to introduce a feature called Endorsements. The way endorsements will work is when you're playing over...
So from what of you guys have said in the chat, basically endorsements is going to be like League of Legends, the tiers that you get from being nice, right?
Overwatch, after a match ends, you'll have the opportunity to look at players both on your team and the enemy team and recognize them for certain gameplay behaviors that you want to really show that they shined in that area. So there are 3 areas that you can endorse a player in.
Sharing the fucking game?
Sportsmanship. This is if they were being a really nice, respectful person. Maybe they said, you know, nice shot when you killed me. That was really awesome. I like the way you did that. Really just good sportsmanship, being a positive influence on the battlefield.
So, okay, listen, I'm gonna stop the video a couple times just so I can talk about a few things, because I think I don't want to talk about the whole thing after. Like, the thing with this is that it's all good and nice, but I always have a view of like high rating and stuff. This will never happen. Not a single time in the world you'll see someone say, "Dude, nice shot, dude. Oh, hell's it, power champ, dude. That was really good. You go with the headshot, dude. You're billing me mechanically. Feels good, man." That won't happen ever. And if it does happen, it's gonna be Kefri shit. And Kefri shit is when you say, "Hey, man, that was a good round. I had a lot of fun with it. Oh, you guys played well. We played well. We won, but you know, yeah, it was fun, dude." It's like twisting the blade in. It's fucking garbage, but
so you can recognize somebody for that. The next endorsement that you can give is for a good teammate. And now you can't give this...
Huge arms, boys! What the fuck? Hold up. I'm sorry for pausing the video. Thanks so much, Jay, for those. I appreciate it, dude. Big love. Everyone follow Jay on Twitch and give him some your Twitch primary whenever he goes online. Much love, dude. Follow him on Twitter too, Kappa Ross. I'm just going through the video. Love you guys. I'm doing a reaction to the video.
To the enemy team. This one only applies to your team. Good teammate. You might recognize somebody for doing something along the lines of...
Only your team.
You know, your team currently has a Hanzo on it. Your Hanzo
that's for
player,
your team.
You think would be better off switching to another hero, and you say, hey, you know, instead of that Hanzo, I think we could really use Mei in this situation, and the person switches to Mei, and then you win the match. And you sort of recognize that that person was a really good teammate. They switched to a role that was needed for the team at the time, and they did a really good thing. Or they respond in respectful ways when people are asking, you know, maybe the Mercy player says, we get to the edge so I can heal you. I need somebody to fly up to, and the person moves to the edge. So you can recognize somebody for being a really good teammate, playing the game as a team player in a very high and effective way.
Okay.
The final way that you can endorse someone, and this one is also only for your team, not for the enemy team, is called shot caller. Now, what we think shot callers should be recognized for is those are the men and women who end up on our team, who end up telling the rest of us what to do in a very positive, respectful, and effective way. It's usually the person who says, okay, guys, we're not going to all go in until our Zarya's ult is ready and Hanzo has his ult ready. Once I make the call, everybody move in, and we'll have a really successful take on that point. Or, hey, we should back out now. Our Mercy was just killed. Let's back out. It's the person who's calling the targets, calling when to go in and out of the match, and generally leading us on the battlefield. And we want those people to really be recognized as shot callers. So the endorsement system is going to be very public. You're going to get to see other players and how they're endorsed. So when you see other players, you're going to be able to recognize, wow, that person, a lot of my fellow Overwatch players has said that person's a great teammate. So I know that I can expect a good experience out of them.
Ooh,
the system...
I don't like that. Okay.
Will work in a few ways. It will make sure that you maintain that endorsement level, meaning that once you get to a certain high endorsement level, you don't just stay there forever. You kind of have...
Hey, dude, you're a shot caller. You're not fucking. What the fuck is your deal, dude? You're commended to be the shot caller, and you're not saying anything. What the fuck, dude? I'm gonna report you. You're fucking sabotaging the game, dude. That's what I hear a little bit, but that's what.
Be recognized by other players more frequently. So there are mechanisms in place to make sure that somebody doesn't get to a good place and just stay there forever. It's that person has been a good sportsman. Or shown good sportsmanship. It means that they've been a great shot caller for some period of time. So there's a decay system on it. Also, if you've been actioned in any way, silenced or suspended, you completely lose all endorsements.
What?
You go back to square one, and you pretty much have to start over. So we think the system will be great. There are some rewards in place. For example, you get a minor reward for endorsing other people. You can only endorse a very limited amount of people per match. So it's not something that you can just do to exploit for experience or something like that. And then also, people who hit high endorsement levels frequently, we will do these check-in moments where we will reward those people for being awesome at what they do. So that's endorsements. That's coming.
Wait, what?
We are super excited about it. We think it's going to have a big impact
skins at Christmas
on
and shit
showing
like that.
the Overwatch community just how many awesome Overwatch players there are and how many positive moments are actually happening in the game. The next system has been long awaited and long demanded, and that is looking for group. We put a lot of time and effort into designing and implementing this system. Our looking for group system will allow you to create a group to your exact specifications. And what I mean by that is if you're a very particular group leader and you want to insist on having 2 tanks, 2 damage, and 2 healers, you can restrict those roles in your group, and you can even force the people playing those roles to only be able to play those roles. Of course, if you want a wide open group where everybody can play whatever they want, you can do that as well. There's some other options within the looking for group system that should be interesting. Like, for example, if you want to say to people in your group, I really want everybody to have voice chat, so I'm going to say, voice chat's required for my group. You can name your group whatever you want, so when it shows up on the list, you can say to people, I'm really trying to get to Diamond and competitive and looking for other serious, mature players to play with me, or however you want to name it. You can put that in there to try to attract the other people who are looking for a similar experience as you are. The whole idea behind looking for group, like with our Avoid as Teammate feature we added a short while ago, is to give you more control over your gameplay experience. We think Overwatch is a team game, and you always have to play with 5 other people, and we think you'll have a much better experience if you have some say in what the other people on your team are doing, what their sort of play behavior is, and if you have some input and interaction with them. So we think looking for group will be really awesome. One thing to note about it is it's not a matchmaking system.
Okay, that's what I was thinking about. I was like, dude, what the fuck is this going for? Like, I'm clueless. Like, is this for rank? Is this for what?
When you go to look for a group, you're either creating a group and showing it to other players, or you're browsing the list as somebody looking for the group and then committing to join that group. It's not automatically pulling players in and putting them into the system.
Oh, so they have to manually go click it.
That's what our basic matchmaking does right now when you click play on Quick Play or Competitive or any of our arcade games.
That's good for lower ranks.
Keep that in mind. It's more of a system for finding each other, then you go into the gameplay system. So that's looking for group. We think it will be awesome. Now, a few minor housekeeping.
Basically, the way I see it, dude, for lower ranks and shit, it'll work perfectly. Like, you'll find people, dude. Okay, boom with you, boom with you. If you need someone, dude, boom. Actually, it's always gonna be there, right? For high ranks, it's gonna be longer to find people. And on top of that, dude, you can literally predict the games you're gonna get at high rank. Like, you can literally see people queuing, your friends and shit. And I think there'd be like a lot of sniper groups, like.
Notes on the looking for group system. As I mentioned earlier,
sniping this guy's fucking stream, boys. Let's get the juice, boys. 6 against some dude.
I don't know if you caught that when I said earlier that you can have tank, damage, and support. We're now limiting the game in terms of number of roles to only those 3 roles. So previously, where we had heroes like Tracer, who was considered an offense hero, and Junkrat, who was considered a defense hero, all of those heroes are now in the same role, which is simply called damage. We think this greatly simplifies things. It will really help the looking for group system, and we think it makes a lot of sense. And those roles were sort of arbitrary to begin with. It was just to help newer players figure out what the different heroes did. The other big change that's coming in regards to the looking for group system is that player profiles, we will now give you control over who gets to see those. You can set it so your profile is private, you can set it so your profile is friends only, or you can set it like it currently is right now, which is to public. By default, these will not be public moving forward. Again, our theme is give you control over your gameplay experience. We recognize that other players were sometimes giving us a hard time based on our player profile. We think you
because you're fucking garbage! Because if you're fucking Mercy one trick and you're playing Tristan and you're throwing the game, you need to be told to switch the fuck out! But with this you can't, dude.
Oh my god. If you want people to see that or not. Now, it's a huge patch that's coming up. There's a major SYMMETRA rework happening. We're going to have a great description of all of SYMMETRA's new abilities and everything that's different about the hero. As has been mentioned before, and some of you know, some of you don't, she is moving to the damage category, so please make sure to read that update. And also, major changes are happening to the Horizon Lunar Colony map. And we're going to go into great detail. We're going to post a complete description of the changes that are happening there as well. And we think you'll find those really interesting. For example, on point B on Horizon Lunar Colony, you can no longer sort of attack from the defender's spawn room within the safety of the healing zone like you were able to previously. We fixed that issue, but we've made some really big changes to the map. There's also some beautiful art and new lore in the map as well that we think you'll be really interested in. All in all, we think it's a great patch. These two major social systems we think will make Overwatch a much better experience. We have more social systems on the way. I hinted at this before. Not only are we going to deliver two early on.
I don't get me wrong, okay? Like, okay. Listen to me. It's very good. These patches are really good, and this whole thing is all good. I only have positive things to say, right? It's good moves from them or whatever. Okay, listen. It's good in the general scheme of things, and it's good for general whatever. It's all like, you know, like a bell curve stuff. It's good for the middle part, right? But for higher ranks and stuff, dude, that shit is fucking disastrous. It's unbearably bad for high rating. It is so bad.
Summer or early fall. These features are brand new. I'm sure we're going to have to iterate on them a lot. Please speak up. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. We'll make changes as necessary. Thanks so much, and we hope.
Want me to tell you guys why I did? Okay, I'll break it down for you guys. It's very simple. Shut up! Now, let me tell you guys why this is really bad, right? In competitive games, right? There's feelings, right? And there's result, which is usually winning the game, right? And normally you're gonna find places that you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna be like this, right? Or there and shit. But you can't have both. It's a competitive video game. It's literally impossible that most of your games, right? You'll have both at the same time. It's one or the other almost. And you'll always like try to glide right in the middle of it, right? But with this shit, right? With this patch and whatnot, it means that we're getting closer and closer to this part at the end. With the report system, with the avoid player, you know, we're getting closer to there, you know, because you can sort of, you know, manipulate your shit or whatever. You're getting close, like, to the, you know, oh, I'm feeling good, dude. Dude, I'm feeling great today. Nobody roasted me, right? Nobody reported me. I'm one-tricking. I'm having a lot of fun, dude. This is great. I paid $40 for my experience of Overwatch. Blah, 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 blah. Right? But your team is like, dude, you gotta sort the fuck out. You're having fun. You're not getting roasted because we can't see your fucking profile. But we need to win the game, dude. Right? You're Mercy one trick. Literally, you're on Tracer. You haven't gone a single limb in 9 minutes. But I can't roast you. I don't know what you even play. I don't know what you play. I don't know what you normally play. I don't know what's your normal rating. I don't know where you were before. I don't know what's your character pool. I have no idea. How can I shock all? How can I help us to win the game if I have no idea? Right? What you normally play and shit. How can I make moves? And even if I do, it's like, I don't know, man. And he's not gonna tell me either. He's gonna say, dude, I normally play Mercy, but I'm on Tracer and I'm feeding. He's not gonna say that. Of course not. So you'll get closer to this fucking I'm feeling great and farther from we're winning the game. It's not a thing that can exist. It isn't. It's a competitive video game. Seriously though. It doesn't exist. People always say, dude, we need this roll queue, this punishment, we need this report, we need this, the XYZ. Listen, you can make it as best as possible for your experience, but you'll never have all of it. And the closer you go to perfection, the farther you go away from what a competitive game needs, I think. Patch notes, oh my fucking, I'm shivering, dude, I'm fucking shivering, actually shivering. Endorsement, looking for group. Endorsement, dude. Hey boys, endorsement, shot caller, boys! Combat can now be heard 25% further away. That's good for shot calling anyway. So, you can hear abilities and ults from farther. You can shot call from farther, that's what it means. I think this is very good. You can say, hey dude, I just heard Anna sleep, right? Get the fucking on the Anna or something, which is really good. Change the name of the Varrock straight to Sarfang. The what? The fucking what face? What the fuck is Varrock and Sarfang, dude? Add an Inspire uptime percentage statistic for Blizzard Career Profile. But that doesn't matter because people are gonna put careers on fucking private anyway, so that's kind of irrelevant. But that's good. Remove some statistics for SYMMETRA career profile. Okay. Added scope critical hit accuracy for Widowmaker on a career profile. Okay. Players must have Blizzard SMS protection enabled, eligible for top 100. What? That won't do anything though. Like, let's be real. There'll be like a bunch of services, like, you know, they can like pay like $5 and have your account verified or something. No more Smurfs, you guys are crazy, dude. I have 3 phone numbers, like, but that's good that they do it. Like, I know what they're coming from now. It's like this is what we call the Korean treatment, right? This is like the Korean treatment. In Korea, it's like much stronger. Profile will logo will be public by default. What? You have to click it for it to be enabled. Wait, no, it should be the opposite. So by default, it's hidden. Oh, I don't like this, man. I don't like this. If anyone at Blizzard is watching, dude, can I explain to you why it's not okay? Cause now if you do put it up, if you do put it on, it means that you're sort of like a little bit like bragging or braggish. Like, I went out of my way to say, hey, that's my rating, bitch. Look at me, right? But on the opposite, whatever. Real updates. Doomfist Meteor Strike. Bonus movement speed increase from 150% to 200%. That's fucking huge. The best defense. Shield gain increase from 30 to 35%. What the fuck, man? Dude. I hear fucking laughing chips all the way from fucking Europe, man. The increased movement speed, meteor strike and face options were deployed. Yeah, that's it. Increase letting survive more during into diving enemies. Oh, it's a supercharger. It cost reduced by 50%, 15%. Dude, it was already stacking really fast though. Yeah, Doofus is already really fucking shining this meta, dude. Doofus is fucking popping off. Not really though, not that much. SYMMETRA, boys! We checked all of this, dude. We checked all of this. Okay, there's one bug that they probably didn't fix. Let me show you guys. But this is just... That's a sleeper, dude. Because now you have to reset your shield to put it back up. What's the bug? Well, I'm not facing forward. Look. Fix the bug that prevented Moira basic biotic grasp from damaging barriers. Fix the bug where Moira's biotic grasp disappear, attaching barriers. This bug prevented... Excuse me from... Okay. Dude, she's dead! The character's done! She's over! You can't heal 2 bears anymore! GG's! The character's useless now! The bug made her good. She's useless now, dude. Actually garbage. You can just bubble with Winston and just... Or even shield Ryan and it's over.